Whether it be pure acrobatics, winning gold for your country, or even flying through the air, these goals are marked in our memories. Here are the most unforgettable goals in NHL history. Number 12. Alexander Ovechkin scores sliding on his back. This goal necessitates a combination of good fortune, skill, and perseverance. Many players at any level give up after being knocked down, but Alexander Ovechkin does not. He scored some incredible goals, including one while sliding on the ice and his 500th with only one hand on the stick. But against the Phoenix Coyotes, he took a bad step while trying to pass the defense, fell, and was able to keep his stick on the puck and twist his body in such a way that the puck went into the net. Number 11. Mario Lemieux scores off face-off. Okay, this has happened before, and Mario Lemieux's face-off goal is just one example. It does, however, have the best story of all these unusual goals. Lemieux made a running bet with a local radio jockey that if he scored on a puck drop, he would donate $6,600 to the Mario Lemieux Foundation, which funds medical research, in December 2002. Essentially, this goal displayed great timing as well as altruism. Number 10. Mike Aruzioni, miracle on ice. We've previously placed a Russian on this list, but Russians were the bad guys in both world politics and, more importantly for this list, hockey. Throughout the Cold War, the Soviet Union and the United States appear to be on the edge of nuclear war at any time. Professional hockey players were sent by the Soviet Union, while university-level players were sent by the United States. It was 1980. The Soviets were heavy favorites to win, but in the medal round, the US pulled off one of the biggest upsets in the game's history. The US trailed by 1 at the start of the third period, but scored on a power play to tie it up. Then, Captain Mike Aruzioni fired a wrist shot in the net from the top of the circle to put the US ahead. It turned out to be the game-winning goal. Number 9. The Great One tallies number 802. Fast forward 20 seconds to see a terrific defensive effort that resulted in the picture-perfect passing that led to this goal. But first and foremost, what is the significance of 802? Gordie Howe held the all-time record for regular season goals at the time with 801. Gretzky scored his 802nd goal on March 23, 1994, in a 6-3 loss to the Vancouver Canucks, capping off a spectacular tic-tac-toe from Jari Kurri and Marty McSorley. I should point out right away that number 99 has so many amazing goals that we could have done a full list of them alone. That's another story for another time. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. Number 8. Pavel Bure, lost in the skates. Although having played for 6 different teams in North America and Russia, Pavel Bure spent most of his professional career with the Vancouver Canucks. No matter where he traveled, he never lacked big ideals. He had a great deke against Calgary in 1994 and a few amazing coast-to-coast rushes that embarrassed goalies. But in September 1996, he delivered a short-handed goal in which he appeared to lose the puck in his skate, chipped it back to his stick, and popped it in the net. Despite the fact that it was a preseason game, he made a difficult move look easy and finished it at full speed. Number 7. Keith Primeau pops the winner in the longest game since the 1930s. Some may be dissatisfied that this goal is even on the list. It's not a flashy dangle, nor was the puck shot fast enough to pierce the netting and smash a window. He's been playing hockey for about 2.5 hours. These guys get a workout after a period, let alone 3 periods with 4 overtimes. It's a miracle Primeau and the other rink players are still alive. The Flyers-Penguins game, which began on May 4th, 2000 and ended on May 5th, is still the NHL's longest game in its 75-year history. Nonetheless, the goal was admirable. Primeau shook off a defender and fired a picture-perfect wrist shot past Ron Tugnut. Number 6. Sidney Crosby, Olympic gold medal. This goal is on the list for several reasons. It's not flashy or a top-tier slapper, but it demonstrates a picture-perfect give-and-go between 2 of the game's best players at the time. Sid chipped the puck to Jarome Iginla, who slid it back to Crosby, who buried it. The passing move was great, but so was the quick release and keeping the puck low. It was also a gold medal-winning overtime goal between 2 opposing teams. The United States and Canada are neighbors, economic partners, and 2 of the top hockey countries in the world. It came down to a simple but brilliantly executed move in one of the most dramatic games in international hockey history. Number 5. Steve Eiserman, Game 7 double overtime howitzer. Steve Eiserman, largely recognized as one of the best captains in NHL history, was both a great leader and a fantastic player. In 1996, he exhibited the amount of power he could put behind a slap shot. The Detroit Red Wings take on the St. Louis Blues in Game 7 of the Western Conference semi-finals. In double overtime, Eiserman jumped on a loose puck and cut into the neutral zone. Although some chose to dump and chase, others attempted to run around the defense and hold onto the ball. Stevie Y wound up and blasted a shot that beat goalie John Casey blocker side, barely inside the post and just under the crossbar. Number 4. Mike Legg and Mikhail, the Michigan. Mikhail of the Minnesota Wild and Mike Legg, who was drafted but mostly played in the lower leagues, are both featured. The Michigan is one of the worst dangles ever seen in hockey. Granlund achieved it in international competition against Russia in 2011, and Legg did it while playing for Michigan against Minnesota. The goal is to flip the puck up on one stick behind the net, then reach around the post and slip it over the goalie's shoulder. Number 3. Tomas Hertl, 4 goals in style. Tomas Hertl, a Czech forward, had a 30-point season in 2014-2015. Hertl had a promising rookie season in 2013, but he injured his knee and had to miss the rest of the season. On the other hand, he did score 4 goals in one game against the New York Rangers in October 2013. The first was an excellent tip on a corner pass, the second was a straightforward slide under the pad on a breakaway, and the third was a buried rebound. His fourth was another breakaway, but this time he roofed it with the stick-through-the-legs technique. Following the game, a reporter asked if his antics were unsportsmanlike, at which point veteran Joe Thornton yelled at the reporter to shut up and said that on such a night, I'd have my C out if I scored 4 goals. I'd smear it with my C. If we make a video of the best hockey quotes of all time, this will be at the top. Number 2. Paul Henderson, Summit Series. The Summit Series, like the Miracle on Ice, was a battle that pitted evil against good in a series that wasn't only about the game, but also had political implications. The teams disliked one another and foul play was unavoidable. The Soviets won Game 1, Canada won Game 2, and Game 3 finished in a tie. The Soviet Union won both Games 4, the final to be held in Canada, and 5, the first to be held in Moscow, and Canada won the next 2 games. In the 8th game, it was do or die for both sides, and the score was tied at 5 late in the 3rd period. Paul Henderson slammed into the end boards after missing a chance on net with less than a minute remaining. After regaining possession of the puck, 2 Soviets checked Phil Esposito. He chipped the puck into the net and goaltender Vladislav Tretiak couldn't stop it. Henderson, in the meantime, had risen and picked up the puck in front of the net, burying the rebound. Number 1. Bobby Orr's iconic finish. In a room full of Canadians, someone is likely to say, my buddy, family member, whatever, has a picture of that in his living room. Although playing for the Bruins, the man was a Canadian treasure, and this was the best finale in hockey history. After 3 easy wins against the St. Louis Blues in Games 1 through 3, the Bruins and Blues went to overtime in Game 4. After receiving a pass from centre Derek Sanderson, Orr scored 40 seconds into the game. He was being tripped at the time, so he was celebrating by soaring through the air. We could have chosen any number of Orr goals, for example an end-to-end rush, but this is without a doubt the most renowned goal in NHL history, so we're confident in our choice. For a change of pace, watch the video below to see how this NHL player became homeless.